As we all know, there is no good render without good lighting. So in this video, I'm going to explain some principles and show you exactly how to light the Luna Ultra, which we made in the previous two videos. And by the way, if you want to learn product animation from beginner to advanced, I have a magnificent course that does this, and it shows you step by step how to make product animations. Modeling, texturing, animation, simulation, geometry nodes, and even how to get your first paying customer. So check that out if you're interested. The link is in the description and in the comments. So right now I'm in an empty Blender scene and we have our beautiful looking product right here. First of all, I'm going to bring in the plane so that this product has something to stand on. I'm going to scale this down, bring it all the way over here, look from the bottom, and then bring it up until the product is starting to intersect with it. So now it is standing completely on this plane. I'm now going to click on 1, Ctrl-Alt-0 to place the camera right here. I will set the pivot point to 3D cursor to world origin with Shift S. Select the camera, RZ, and rotate it around until we get a nice looking angle. I think something like RZ 45 is going to do the trick. So I'm going to bring this down a little bit, and I want to angle this upwards. If you angle it downwards like this, looking up at the product, then the product seems very grandiose and supreme. While if you do it the other way around, the product will seem smaller, more cute, more submissive. And we want to make this product seem supreme, so we're going to film this from a very low angle. Now the easiest way to add some detail straight away in the lighting is to add a HDRI. So I'm going to add an HDRI right here. I'll simply go to the collection, Sunset JSB Central or The Sky is on Fire. You can select a bunch of these and cycle through them, see which one fits best for your needs. This one seems pretty cool. It's Canary Wharf 4K, but I personally like Sunset JHB Central. It gives the best overall lighting look. If you don't have Lumio, you can go over here, click on this button, select Environment Texture, and then select the HDRI that you want to have here. Now I'm going to make sure that we have a plane white background, so I'm going to select this plane. Both of these edges, there are two methods to do this. We can either rotate the plane together with the camera, so RZ 45, and then simply take this area and bring it up and make sure that it's beveled. And I think that's a pretty good option. What you can also do is remove all of that, do it for both of these, press E and Z, bring it up, and then do the bevel right here. So that is also an option. So depending on what you want to do and how you want the lighting to refract in the background, this is completely up to you. Now I'm going to keep it like this since it's now finished anyways. First of all, I'm also going to bring down the camera ever so slightly so that the spacing between these is approximately the same. And that means that it's going to be exactly in the middle. We're going to add some lighting now. And I want to make a light linking group. So the way I'm going to do it is first add the lights, then light link it to the product, and then afterwards we will do the background. For now I'm just going to use an area light, and I like to work from the back to the front. So I'm going to place this area light on the back side of this product, rotate it around a little bit, move it a bit further, maybe increase the scale a little bit, and rotate it from a slight upward angle like so. Then we can increase the power. So we can get a pretty cool looking edge light surrounding this entire product. Now, if we just scale it up like so, GYY, bring it down a little bit, we now have this entire place surrounded by lighting. We can always increase or decrease the power. One thing I don't like is the lighting it's giving me right over there. So it might be an option to rotate it even more and have it come from the top so that this bottom part is not lit. Usually we don't light things from the bottom, specifically for humans. In product it's sometimes permitted, but I try to avoid it as much as possible. Now let's move it a little bit like this so we can get a pretty good idea. What I'm looking at is the edges. So we get the edge right here, that is getting some lighting. We've got some edges right here that are receiving some lighting, and of course on top here. Now I'm going to add a new one, new area light, and I want to place this one like right over here on the back side. Nothing too crazy. I'm going to place it further in the back, increase the power. We have a choice here. If you keep the light very small, then it's going to be quite harsh. Well, if you scale this up, it will become softer. So the smaller you make the light, the harsher the light, and you can decide for yourself what you want to do. I'm going to keep it somewhere in the middle, so we do have some harsh lighting, but it's also going over into a soft type of lighting on the side here. And make sure that once again we get the outline of this product. Place the spread down, then decrease the power again just a little bit. And at this point in time, we have this. So there are one or two more lights that we can add if we want to. The first one is going to be an area light. I'm going to place it right over here and increase the scale of this and have it move slightly from the side because I do want to keep this a bit more in the shadows. I'm going to place it further back and increase the power just a little bit. And that is going to be our fill light. So it's going to fill up some of the darkest shadows in this product. So we still get the separation with different lighting streaks on the sides, but we're also able to very clearly see what the product actually looks like. And move it around until I find a place where I'm like, yeah, that's the spot. Now one more light, and that one can be placed on top. It should actually be a very small light, very harsh light. And there you go, place it on top. Let's make this very extreme and then dial it back, just so we get some extra detail in here. And now we can start with shaping the light. So there are specific areas that you might want to have highlighted over here. And we can do that by adding more lights, obviously. I'm just going to keep it in the same view. I like working in that way because I can see the end result immediately. Just going to RX90 this, and I will place it like somewhere on the side here. And this should be quite a small light. So I'm going to scale this down a little bit. Bring it to the side. I barely want it to be visible. Like so, and I'm going to bring it back. I will decrease the spread. So I'm going to scroll that down here. And I also changed the temperature, but that is not good. We should change it to 8000. And I don't want this to be too crazy. If I have a look at this single light right here and what it's doing, we can specify exactly what it will look like. This is obviously way too much, but we're getting there. I feel like if we set the power here to 1, can also be maybe 4. Let's have a look here. Yeah, that is kind of the look that I'm going for. We now have some lighting here on the sides. We have this part being lit up a bit better. We have a nice gradient on this circular shape, which actually shows that it's circular. Same for this one. And I kind of like that. So I'm going to keep it like this. Now let's see if there are any other specific areas that I'd like to see lit. Maybe somewhere over here it still seems a little bit flat. We do have this nice rim light on the side here, but I think we can improve this somewhat. So let's go over here, light area, RX90, RZ. Let's bring it right over there. Make it very small once again. Scale it up on the Z axis. I want to have it come from the side a bit more, so something like this should barely be noticeable. If I solo this out so I can see what this light is doing, we can see that the edges here are being lit in a very nice fashion, also for the button here, and I like this. So now the question is it strong enough? Should it be stronger, less strong? And let's just play around with what we got here and perhaps do the spread as well, just a little bit. Like 70, and then dial it back. Let's have a look. Yeah, that can be pretty cool. So if I have a look at it right now, I feel like everything is lit correctly, except for the bottom plane and the way this is structured entirely. So now let's add light linking to this, because I want to have the plane separated from the rest of the object. Now, fortunately for us, these are the only things that are in the project here, and the plane is just one object as well. So we don't have multiple background planes. Multiple ways in which you can do this. So the most common way is to simply go to the Object Properties tab, open up Shading, go to Light Linking, click on New, then you drag the collection or the object that you want to have included or excluded from the lighting, and you will have a tick box that you can select, and that will turn the lights off or on for that specific object. Now what I like to do personally is to use my own add-on Lumio, and we have a light linking feature here. We can add the collection, the lights collection, so all these lights are in a light collection. We're going to set this to collection, and the target can be the original model, for example. And if we then add light linking, then the light should stop shining on the background plane, but it's still lighting our entire product. And this gives us some more control over what we can do with the background right now. Go to Viewport Display, and Passepartout can be turned all the way up. So now we can see only the background. I'm going to make some space here. Click on New, and we can change this in whatever fashion we would like the background to be. But in this case, we're just going to keep it white, and we're slightly going to improve this so we get some reflections here, but we don't want to have this entire HDRI streak in the background. So I'm going to play around with the roughness here and the metallic until we find a balance where we get the effect. And now we can add some lighting to the background as well. So there's two options here. What we can do, and what is very popular to do, what is very common to do, is to add a point light in the back, precisely behind our product and in line with our camera. Now let's increase the exposure for this. Let's have a look. And now we have a pretty cool looking background for this, light linking, and then drag the background plane into our point light. So if we have a look here, plane, I'm going to call it BG plane. But the problem is that this is due to bounce lighting coming off from the plane. So if you want to turn that off, basically we're just going to add a light path node. And then if you scroll through these, you can see what the function will be for the lighting. And I'm going to drag in the diffuse depth into the strength and have a look at it like this, or in the color. And then we can still determine the strength, and this is the difference. So before we have this type of shape, and now it's removing all of the glossy depth and all the other type of depth, and it's just lighting this plane on the color, basically. Now, if you still want to have something cool looking like this, or maybe you don't because it's also distracting, it's kind of up to you, you can also add a IES texture. So in order to do that, you can type here IES texture and bring in the external IES texture. For me, I'm just going to add it right over here and test a bunch of different ones. So we have this, or this one, also pretty cool. It's a bit too much, interesting. Pretty decent stuff here, but I'm not entirely sure if this is going to cut it for me right now. These lights can be rotated, so normally a point light doesn't really do anything when you rotate it, but these point lights can be rotated because it has direction in the lighting. For me, I'm just going to remove all of that and keep the light path node in here with the diffuse depth in the color. And that gives us this result. Now, for the sake of this video, I will also show you two other techniques with premium looking lighting. So we have light, spotlight, for example. We can add one right over there. We can add a gobo if you'd like. So let's add that right here. Increase the exposure. And you can see that this light now has a pattern, which is quite interesting. And it always makes things look a bit more premium or thought out without a lot of effort. And what it comes down to, it's basically just an image, a black and white image that is going inside of the emission here. Of course, if you have the Ultimate Gobo pack, you have a wide range of things that you can use in order to improve your lighting. Very simple stuff to get your scene to look better. Then you can have some of those nice looking trees. Obviously, you do want to blur this out a little bit, and you do that by increasing or decreasing the radius here, as you can see. And that immediately makes things look a bit more premium. Now, the way you place this is completely up to you. I just wanted to let you know that this option exists. So let me turn that off once again, because there's one more option. It's a pretty simple one. We have an area light, get it up. Let's increase the power of this. And let's make sure that it's outside of the screen here. Then we're going to make another one, Shift D, RC90, RC180, GNY, GNX. And let's place that one right over there. So now we have two area lights, and now you have infinite options on what you want to do. You can do like a red and blue color scheme if you like something that looks like this. You can keep it normal, just keep it both white, and play around with the power to get some type of gradient effect going on here. And the same goes for this one. It kind of depends on how far you want it to go and how you want it to look. If you have all of these together, I'm going to make a new collection. This one is going to be called Gradient Area. This would be the gradient look. Okay, it's better than what we had before. I'm not a complete fan. This is going to be the point light look. I think it's slightly blown out. It's maybe a bit too much. And we have the spotlight look. We didn't actually put enough time in this to get it to look completely right. I'm going for pointy. So I'm going for this circular type shape on the background in order to highlight the product behind it. Now I do want to change the exposure in this just a little bit, so it's not too crazy. So just to go through it quickly, this is the gradient, this is pointy, and this is spotty. So it kind of depends on what type of lighting you want. I think for me, pointy is doing the trick here. So I hope you got a couple of tricks out of this that will help you improve your lighting. I have a full product animation course in the description, so I would highly recommend checking that out, and I will see you in the next one.